welcome to part 2 of the Let's Love/Hate the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We are moving on to Chapter 2 today. We just blew up the Mako Reactor 1 in Chapter 1.
Looks like we made it. And with nothing but a few scratches to show. Think you might have overdone it?
I followed the instructions to the letter. Maybe it triggered a reaction with the Mako?
Well, let's hope the city's still in one piece.
But the planet's what matters, right? I mean, this must have helped some.
After all that, it had better have. Anyway, let's get going. We in Sector 8?
That'd be just down there.
So they've taken all these violent actions and they're not even sure they're actually helping the situation any. They just blew up the reactor. The bomb that they used was very small and effective for what they were doing, but then Heidegger of Shinra pushed a button and kind of self-destructed the reactor. So why would President Shinra want to destroy his own reactor and mess up the city and everything like that? That doesn't make a lot of sense. He must be real evil. He must have a big plan for that. So the party just escaped big explosions and now are like going through sewers and back alleys to get back to the Sector 7 slums where they are headquartered.
Felt that one in my guts.
They just keep on coming.
They're taking their little escape route here.
Was it the Mako density? The primary explosive? The blasting agent?
Hey, we can figure that out later.
I'm running on empty here.
You can refuel at the base.
Next time I'll have to bring a little pick-me-up.
Ah, yes, the first of many, many
farther do we
fat
have to go?
references from Wedge.
Not far.
Obviously, these people didn't mind killing a few people, like guards and whatnot,
That's
but
about
they
as good a
certainly
place as any.
did not want to,
Stand back then. I'll set the bomb.
mess up the city or take out innocent people or
Wait
whatever.
to see you, Marlene.
Can't wait to take a hot shower.
Now, you'll see a lot of these throughout the game, these shimmying through narrow corridors and whatnot, and a lot of those are actually loading screens, and I think it's a pretty nice way to disguise
Good to
them,
go.
and better than a standard loading screen.
Fire in the hole!
Ah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They just thought that
Anything that gets in my way.
the party thinks that Jesse's bomb was just way bigger than expected, but they're gonna just stand there and say, "Fire in the hole!" as she blows up another hole in the wall.
This is an alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center. Unidentified intruders have detonated a bomb inside Mako Reactor 1. Multiple explosions have been confirmed, as well as ongoing fire. In response...
So here they are topside, looking at all the destruction caused to Sector 8 from the explosion of Mako Reactor number 1 in Sector 1. So that explosion did some damage.
No way.
This couldn't have been us, could it?
But what if it was?
What's done is done.
Merc's right. It ain't pretty, but we can't stop now. This was just the first reactor, and the planet won't be safe till we get the rest.
Yeah. We always knew this was gonna get messy.
And this is only the beginning.
Y'all gotta look at the bigger picture here. Nothing worth fighting for was ever won without sacrifice. Though you may not be crying out, I know you're in pain, just like the planet. But it's okay, cause I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders. Your fears, your worries, your concerns, and yes, your fees. Whatever your problem, I got you.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough. We get our asses home.
Now they've made him like a sanctimonious, self-righteous politician, really. You know, You can rely on me. I'll carry you along. I will be your leader. I will shoulder your problems, your hopes, your fears, all of those things. Not for a second did he sit there and reconsider what he wanted to do. You saw Biggs and Jesse express some second doubts about seeing what they've done and their plan.
Hey, I'd like my money now.
You can have it once we're back at base.
If he's going to take the position that they have to do whatever it takes, no matter how many lives it costs to blow up the reactors in order to save the planet, because, you know, human lives are in danger. They're killing the planet. Well, you know what? You're killing human beings.
I don't need to tell you what this is, right?
Of course not. It's healing materia.
You can have it for saving my life.
Twice.
Just doing my job. Nothing more.
Yeah. Fact is, I'm lucky you were there.
Survival can be a matter of luck or skill. And you can't rely on luck.
Words to live by.
And she's so cute.
Yeah, well, thanks.
You do know how to use it, right?
You do know what I was, right?
I was only trying to help. Oh, before I forget, here's a little something extra for being so brave. That really was the ride of a lifetime. Well, see you on the train.
I think that might be the gift from doing 20 minutes instead of 30 on the bomb in Chapter 1. So this is a cool environment, you know, well done. You don't see topside very much at all in the original game. It is just a handful of screens in the whole game, and we're going to be spending a whole chapter here on topside, so to speak. And, you know, this is the part of the game where they start doing some padding, I would say. This part of the original game is maybe 3 to 5 minutes long. And, I don't know, 4 screens, I want to say. We're going to be going for over an hour here. And remember, we're just trying to meet up back at base, get on the train.
Cloud! Up here! Look up! I said look up! Careful up here. This could collapse at any moment. If you want up, you'll have to use those stairs.
We would have figured that out anyway, but... You know, this part is fine, and a little bit of this would have okay, but you'll see as this goes on and on. It is just a shitload of padding. I understand they spent a lot of money making these environments. They spent a lot of time, you know, let's see, 5 years at least, working on this game. So I can see why they would want to milk it and get the most out of their assets. But padding is padding. And we're going to start seeing a lot of that in this game at various points.
I remember back in the day when this section was just about 3 or 4 screens.
Station's intact.
Very nice environment, though. But we got a very important scene coming up. Something brand new that was definitely not in the original. What the? A randvenient bridge collapse there. That's my word. Randveniently. Randomly and conveniently for a plot.
It couldn't be. But then...
You know, there's the classic shot of him walking through the flames, reminiscent of the first one of the most glorious FMV shots in PlayStation history. Sephiroth destroyed Cloud's hometown of Nibelheim, which we saw a little moment of when he had an earlier flashback about Tifa. Sephiroth is responsible for the destruction of his hometown, burning it to the ground, killing Cloud's mother and everyone in the village, save for a handful of people. Now, this part is very annoying. It's easier to watch while I'm talking, but when you're playing this game, this takes forever. Look how slow you're moving. I guess it's supposed to build tension or whatever, but it's just rather annoying, actually.
You're not real. You're dead.
I am.
I killed you with my own...
Oh, you need not remind me. It was the crowning moment of our time together. But that was then, and this is now. I have a favor to ask. Our beloved planet is dying. Slowly. Silently. Painfully. Can you bear to see the planet suffer? Cloud. Were the planet to die, so many things would be lost. Your hometown that burned so bright. The sound of her voice, pleading for me to spare you. The shiver of her flesh, yielding to cold steel. That which binds us together would be no more, and I would be loath to live in such a world, which is why I must ask you this one favor. Don't worry, it's a simple thing. Run, Cloud. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live.
You bastard!
Good, Cloud. Very good. Hold on to that hatred.
So that is the first of many, many, many parts of this story that has drastically changed since the original, and I hate it. I don't know why. I don't mind seeing Sephiroth there.
Fumes from all the Mako, maybe. All right.
He just hand waves it away.
You got this.
Have caused numerous ongoing fires. Many
I skipped some
homes are
stuff there to just get to the point because you're just wandering through town. But
Please leave your residences at once.
as far as Cloud knows in the story, Sephiroth is dead, and that he killed him after Sephiroth burned down his village. Now that was interesting. I just noticed that Sephiroth basically implied that he actually went out of his way to kill his mother, it sounded like. He actually used a sword on her, rather than she just was collateral damage in the burning of the village. But I don't even know what to make of that. That is a ridiculous scene. You could have shown a flash of him, but for Sephiroth was basically alluding to future events, okay? So one thing to keep in mind about this game that doesn't become clear until much later on is that this is clearly some sort of alternate universe or time travel or alternate dimension or something along those lines, where Cloud here and certain other characters have knowledge of plot events that haven't happened yet. They just made a major mess of this plot unnecessarily.
Don't let the intruder escape.
We can't go that way yet.
Security's everywhere.
So, invisible wall! By the way, fans of Let's Play will know that I am paying homage to H.C. Bailey when I say that. So, So that makes no sense that Sephiroth was there telling him to run away and all that stuff.
You are too weak to save anyone. Not even yourself.
Are you okay?
Okay, so that's number 3.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Here, this is for you.
Huh? A flower?
That's right. It's a gift. You know, for scaring those things away.
What things?
Never mind. Think of it as a memento.
Just my luck.
I heard that, you know.
Those things ruin the game, by the way.
How much?
Well, that depends on the customer. In your case... it's on the house.
Huh?
Lovers used to give these when they were reunited.
Reunited.
Look, I'm involved in things. Dangerous things.
Oh, I'm sure you are. So?
So keep your distance.
Wait, you think someone's out to get you? Is that what you're all worked up about? Relax. No one's going to attack you. I promise.
What is she talking about?
Hey, a Mako reactor just blew. You shouldn't be out here trying to
And now this. She says, I promise no one's gonna attack you, and then immediately...
Help me!
So she has to touch him in order for him to see these things. These are what they call whispers and later called arbiters of fate, and they ruin the story. I have no idea why they added these to the plot.
Drop your weapon!
Are you blind?
You know, you're right.
Wait!
Nice meeting you.
Okay, we'll learn more about them. But if those things are what this game claims they are, the fact that they showed up right there makes absolutely no sense. Maybe, you know, here's another question. What is Aerith doing topside right now? Aerith lives in the slums of Sector 5. So why was she up here at Sector 8? Topside. So Midgar is a
Not bad.
is a city built on top of a city. Right now we are on the pizza top, if you will. And below that are slums. There's Loveless. That is very well done. I love that. So now you're escaping through the city, and you fight a million... I have cut out so many fights here to just get to the point. But those whispers are ridiculous. And some of the things that Aerith said about, you know, lovers reuniting. What does she mean by that? Because they're like replaying the game in like an alternate setting, like a new game plus. They have changed the plot basically to refer to itself. This thing's kicking my butt. There are certain enemies that can like pin you down or tie you up, and it sucks, especially when you don't have anybody to help you out. So this screen is pretty cool because that was a screen. This fountain scene, Clock Tower Village was part of the original, and one of the like 4 screens that you actually see when you're fleeing the Mako reactor. Mako reactor. Take a drink every time I mispronounce that. So that scene that I just cut down there went on forever and ever. They just keep sending soldiers and dogs at you, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of that. It's boring. So again, padding. You just keep running through streets and coming to battlefields and fighting the same kind of enemies over and over and over again. I would say easily for over an hour. Thankfully, the music at this portion is good.
Try me.
There's another one of those stun abilities that locks you up and you can't do anything for a while. And when you don't have a second or third party member, that can be extremely problematic. Now, these environments are nice and everything, but like seriously, one soldier after another just mowing people down. And that's another thing, like, you kill so many people in this game. Avalanche, Cloud, everybody just slaughters people. And you will come to know that these are like regular people. They are not like evil super soldiers or anything like these. These are just like Shinra is the biggest business. It's basically the de facto government and the largest business in all of Midgar, maybe the whole planet. And you know, lots of people work for him, and they're not trying to destroy the environment or anything. But every time he mows somebody down, including these bastards, you know. That's a father. You know, I look at it like somebody lost their father, their husband. They just went to work one day, and they come across Cloud who's just slaughtering people in the streets. Mako is like condensed life energy. So it's supposedly killing like basically souls that could be reincarnated into people and animals and plants and things like that. So it's beyond just like, you know, coal kind of pollution. Obviously, that would slowly kill the planet. Look, Avalanche always was an eco-terrorist group, but in this particular version, it almost makes it hard for you to root for the characters you are controlling. They just took it too far, in other words.
Yeah! All right. Try me.
I'm telling you, the party must slaughter 1,000 just average Joes throughout this game.
Anytime.
It just goes on and on and on, just killing people in the streets, killing dogs, poor little puppy dogs. Oh, so you can see this action here. There's these you can, you know, use hotkeys for certain abilities. Like I have mapped Braver as one, Fire as another ability. There are several abilities that you can map. You can map 4 to the face buttons, and when you've got a full ATB charge, instead of going to the menu and selecting something, you can kind of do a little hotkey, quick menu type thing. I know I've been talking a lot, but the music here is really good. It's, you know, Let the Battles Begin, a version of that fight song. This is the final rush of this section. And I've cut it down drastically because I'm trying to make these videos around 30 minutes or so. Now, just to emphasize my point, listen to how many human screams you're about to hear right now.
Here we go. Time to burn. See ya. Need a light. This is gonna hurt.
Frankly, it's boring, and this chapter was a whole lot of padding. It didn't need to be this long. It should be what's sort of a throwaway transitional chapter between the Mako Reactor Chapter 1 and Mako Reactor Chapter 1 and Chapter 3 when you get to Sector 7 and spend a lot of time in it.
HQ, this is Sector 8, Unit 2. Target is surrounded. Moving to secure.
Wait! I know that.
That's not going to count towards our running total. It's only when he does it in front of the party.
Guess Cloud won't be joining us after all.
No need to assume the worst. I'm sure he's fine. You saw him in action, didn't you? Guy's a soldier. Goddamn one-man army.
You think he's a keeper?
Tell me he doesn't look and sound like Charlie Sheen.
On my go. You had me worried for a minute. What the hell you been up to, huh?
Giving public security the runaround.
Killing dozens of people.
Had to draw them away from the station somehow.
Nicely done.
Well, can't argue with results, huh? What?
Wait. Got a question for you all.
What?
Ever been attacked by an invisible enemy?
What?
Wearing robes. Came and went like the wind.
Thought they were invisible.
They were, at first. Only saw them after she grabbed me.
A new Shinra weapon, maybe?
More like a panic-induced hallucination.
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Suit yourself. Come on, let's move up.
I'm telling you, this is like an alternate universe version. And I don't know why they did it. God damn you, Square. You didn't have to do that. Just do a beat-for-beat remake. Yeah, you can expand it. You could make that part a little bit longer. And you did. Not as long as that. I would have preferred less than that. But, you know, there was absolutely no reason to fundamentally fuck with the plot and add this stupid element that is completely unnecessary.
Just leave me alone, alright?
I love just running into people indiscriminately with Cloud. I do it all the time. It's hilarious.
Little help, Cloud? Please?
I'm sure Sector 7's affected too.
Nah, Shinra wouldn't let that happen.
I want to talk to Jesse some more.
I can't stop thinking about it. The bomb I made shouldn't have produced an explosion that big. It doesn't make any sense.
The explosion triggered a reaction with the Mako. You said so yourself.
That was my first guess, but shouldn't a reactor have fail-safes to prevent that kind of thing? You mentioned invisible enemies back there, right?
Right.
No. I'm just looking for excuses for something that was clearly my own fault. Gotta own up to it if I'm gonna learn from this and move on. Thanks, Cloud. You're a good listener.
Oh, you're a good listener.
Don't be stupid.
Cloud is very good with the ladies.
Power too, you know.
She feels guilt about it, but they're going to continue on with what they're doing. Consequences be damned, innocent human lives be damned.
So far as to
And
bomb a reactor.
I'm sorry, it makes them unsympathetic.
They've yet to announce it publicly, but I heard it was Avalanche's doing.
Really? Aren't they the terrorists who tried to kill the president?
Is there nothing they won't do?
Hey, quit talking out your ass. Everyone knows Avalanche only cares about saving the planet.
Just who do you think you are?
A law-abiding concerned citizen.
Law-abiding? Really?
Shh. Don't antagonize him.
In my humble opinion, that explosion was a message. A message to the bastards bleeding our planet dry. Think they got it? Heard it loud and clear? Y'all's masters?
We will not submit to intimidation or violence, but work together for peace and prosperity. That is how civilized people change the world.
That's right.
You know what? I mean,
That is the Shinra Creed.
These are innocent people. Just going to work.
Them's fighting words.
Them's fighting
It's what we believe. We all have to follow our conscience, don't we?
We should go.
Right.
He's a bully. He's an unsympathetic bully. I don't know why they turned... look, he does a version of that in the original, so it's not completely out of character.
You hear that suit? Shinra creed my ass.
Look, maybe it's because I identify with the suit.
Let's get this out of the way. Personally, I find visual aids make the dull stuff a lot more bearable. If it helps, think of it as an initiation rite.
I love this part.
How many times do I have to tell you people? I'm not...
There's such a thing as playing too hard to get.
Jesse shows him this in the original, and it's one of my favorite parts of the game.
The great city of Midgar, complete with massive steel plates suspended 300 meters above ground level, atop which stands a shining beacon of civilization. The whole system is sustained by the Mako reactors, which feed the insatiable appetites of the public.
The train will be passing through an ID checkpoint shortly.
This here is the train's route. As you can see, it'll take us around this main pillar.
Why do you have to go all the way around when it would be clearly easier to go the other way?
Here to scan the IDs of all passengers heading in and out. Date of birth, residential status, criminal history, all that and more is automatically cross-referenced in their databases. Public security wouldn't have it any other way. Heads up. Don't worry, our IDs are impeccable.
Forget about the IDs. I mean, these people are so obviously the terrorists. I mean, they're the only... I would understand that they wouldn't stick out if other people in this universe dressed and were armed like this.
It's because of that great big pizza in the sky that people down there gotta struggle to survive. Shinra sucks up Mako while the soil turns to dust, the air fills with smog, and the flowers die.
Then leave and don't look back. That's what's always worked for me.
Well, that's all well and good, if you're only out for yourself. But the folks down there don't have the luxury of choice, you know?
Like this train, I suppose. There's only one way it can go.
Anyway, that's the end of Chapter 2. Not a great chapter. Chapter 3 is fortunately much better. And we will get to that next time!